what differentiates you and someone who is successful is this term called FTE. So what does that stand for? FTE stands for fuck this event. So it is when your current situation is so bad that if it doesn't change, you would rather end your life then and there. So what does this imply? This imply the whole idea of being emotional. And why? I believe one of the biggest factor between you and someone who is successful is motivation. All right. So let's talk about emotion. So why is emotion helpful in terms of being successful? I believe emotion can generate energy inside you in an indefinite amount, and energy lead to motivation. So I'm gonna put this in a simpler analogy. No, in an analogy where most people can relate to. So you have to see your work as a machine, or you yourself doing work as a machine, and the motivation is the fuel. But where does the motivation comes from? The motivation comes from, I would say, 80% of the time, you being emotional. Emotional doesn't have to be um whiny and like, it's not that emotional. It's just like when there is some emotion inside of you, when there's like, I would say, a fire inside of you, that generate energy and that leads to motivation. Don't get me wrong, you have to still do the work regardless how you feel. That's why there's the term called discipline. But if you can have motivation, why not? Having motivation is not a bad thing. I feel like most self improvement um gurus out there, they made a point about don't be emotional and just do the work regardless how you feel. But like, if it is backed by motivation or emotion on a deeper level, it is unlimited. You're always motivated day by day, day by day, day by day, and that is gonna separate you from people that just do it for purely from discipline, because you don't need that, and in the long run you can still do it. You can keep on doing it. That motivation plus discipline, then I believe that you will reach levels that you have never imagined before. So I believe that is the biggest one of the biggest factor that differentiates you and someone who is successful. It's about motivation. But still, this emotion can be a little bit unpredictable, because like what I said, and like how most people feel it, that's why it has a negative connotation. Because being emotional means you can, it is destructive, I would say. If you don't pour it to the right target, it can mess you up. That's why it is a very dangerous um asset that you have. But that's the beauty of it, is that once you have control of your some people will say uncontrollable emotion, if you know how to alter and focus it into the right like plan, or the right target, then that's gonna bring you so far in life. And I would say, if you are emotional, that can lead to unlimited motivation. So work at that point will not need discipline, but all you it's just a it's just a subconscious act that you do now. Just like wake up, I have to work, and it's not that I must, but it's I want to work. Let me repeat what I kind of said just now. It's not that wake up and I have to work, but it's I wake up and I want to work, because that is how motivated you are to reach your goals, because that just real so much emotion inside of you. So yeah, I would say you should be emotional when you want to achieve your dream, and that's the biggest the difference between you and someone who's successful. But you have to be careful, because it can be quite dangerous if you alter it in the wrong target, if you focus in the wrong target. So a few examples is what happens when you get emotional is that, like, whenever you get emotional and you still have no good control of your emotion, You can just do anything like physical, like go on a run or hit a workout. Like that will always bring good to your life. Like physical activities will always bring good to your life. And once you have reached a better level of controlling your emotion, you can do it for work. So whenever you feel emotional, just control it and just do it for work. And I would say I've reached the point where I can do that. Whenever I get emotional, I can just do it for work. And yeah, honestly speaking, no result right now. Everything still has been silent work, but I still that means that I have to put my head down longer and keep on doing the work longer. So the why is kind of done. The why it is emotional, why being emotional is good is kind of done. So how do you stir your emotion up? To stir your emotion up, you need to have between two things. One is that you need to have bigger goals and purpose. I read this from Marcus Aurelius Meditations. He explained in this very simple form, like trees have their own purpose that they serve to the world, bigger world. For example, your phone have a purpose, have a core purpose that serves human. So what if us human have the same thing too? What if as a man or as a person you have a purpose too? So think about the purpose, and based on my own experience, that's gonna make you emotional. Like I have a pretty big goals and purpose that I kind of want to achieve, and that is for at least for now. I've done this for quite some time, and that is still motivating me whenever I think about it. It's just it gives me it gives me chills every time, like whenever I think about the goal or like what crazy target do I set for myself. And yeah, the purpose and goals do make you emotional, and that is one of the factors that can generate motivation and will lead you to success. That's what I believe. The second thing is that you need to do something bigger than yourself, like contribution. And there's this like term, there's this like concept, the pyramid of mastery, where at the peak is contribution and spiritual contribution, if not wrong. Yeah, that shows that us human at the end of the day we are all social creature. We feel better when we do things for others and do it for the greater good than just our own selfish desire or needs. And the idea of like serving the world or like changing the world, some crazy dreams like that, crazy goals, purpose, and this like do it for bigger than yourself. That can generate emotion if you don't have this like fuck this event in your life. Because not everyone have this like fuck this event. Not everyone go through a very bad situation in their life, and you should be grateful about that. But that doesn't mean that you cannot be successful. Or no, that doesn't mean that you cannot generate motivation on your own. You can still generate motivation, but just from different perspective. So some personal example, the video is actually like done, but like some personal example that I will give is that, yeah, I would say I have a pretty good upbringing. I'm pretty privileged. Not the craziest, like rich, but like I'm comfortable, and I'm grateful for that. But I do want to achieve bigger things in life, in like bigger goals and like bigger purpose. I want to serve something to the world. And yeah, I use the bigger goals and purpose factor to generate unlimited motivation for me. And I do have a fuck this event too, which is I broke up with my ex girlfriend like a few months ago, and I haven't fully gotten over it yet. But I kind of enjoy the effect that I get from that. It's because I do thanks to that I do a lot of work now. I would say my output is like way more than what it used to be. It's because of just the whole idea of being emotional. And that's the core message of like this video is that like don't shy away from being emotional, but it is you who can control emotion well that's gonna succeed. And Yeah, I feel like this is a big misconception from the whole self improvement about like, and most logical people believe that being emotional is not good, but like in my opinion, the most logical or masculine person is that they can they know they know they're emotional, but they know how to control it well, and they don't make their emotion uncontrollable and let it out of control. They have a good grasp of it, but they can, and they know how to use it towards the right target. So yeah, that's pretty much for this video. I hope this video helps. Keep questioning life and enjoy the process. Peace.